Welcome to our second tutorial. The first tutorial related to logging into the system. I assume that you can do that now. Here we are at the front page after logging in. Let's jump straight into content management. The options at the top here, if you select content and list, you can see how you have a list of all the content that's available on your site. Content is split into different types: page, stories, images. The content management system that the system is based on, the Drupal content management system, allows for umpteen content types. For our purposes, page, stories and images are more than enough. Page and stories, the only difference between page and stories are pages are for static information, unchanging information. So pages, you know, once you've written them, you probably won't change. And stories are more for news type stories, and they will appear in the news, the little news block that may appear on your front page. So here you can see the links, and you can play around with these. You can narrow down using type. You can say just show me stories, etc., which you probably would never be required to do. And update options, you can use these to do mass operations. So you can check here, and then if you wanted to delete or whatever it might be. And again, you may use those in the future, but for now, let's just focus on creating a piece of content. So in this particular tutorial, we're going to create a new story. So move on to the content management tab at the top, create content and story. If you create a new title, let's call it "This is the Interesting." Showing news just means that it will appear in that news block that sometimes appears on the front of your website. Not all sites may be set up that way. The weighting just starts from lowest to highest. It just means if you have multiple stories on a page, they will be ordered in the order of the weighting. This is what we call the WYSIWYG editor. The WYSIWYG editor allows for you to be able to put in content knowing that it will convert into HTML, and without you having to have too much technical information, knowledge, which is very useful. Lots of options on here. Many of these you probably will never use. This one's a useful one. Maximize, so that gives you a much bigger screen. So typically you do things like the big red box jumps very quickly over the lazy brown dog. You may want to bold that, italic it, underline it, whatever it might be. Use the usual to undo and redo. You have these little arrows here: undo, undo, undo. Let's go back to where we were. Oh, let's redo. There we are. Some of the other options: bullet points. This takes all the pain, as I said, out of having to worry about the underlying HTML that will be created. The other options down here, some more useful options down here would be, let's have a look. If we move down here, let's make this rather than being just a normal piece of text, let's make it heading 1. And you can see how it automatically changes the layout of the line. That's not a heading 1, let's make it a heading 2. That's much better. So all of this, you will get to learn this through experimentation, trial and error. Try the different, let's make a paragraph out of this. Several of these in here, and let's take some sections out just so it looks different. Now that's at the moment that paragraph, as you can see, is justified. You might want to left align it, as you can see there. You might want to right align it. Again, fairly obvious. One option here you may be interested in doing is, and I don't actually recommend this because a lot of this is set up in your default style sheet, so it's not really good to mess around too much with font sizes, with font families and font sizes. I mean, you can change the font, so Let's take a ridiculous one, Comic Sans. Let's make the text colour red, and let's make the background colour green. All of this is available to you. Really, you should be avoiding using these, because, as I said, the underlying system provides you with a default set of colours and styles which keeps an overall cohesive style for the whole site. If you start using colour all over the place, it really does start to make the site look like a dog's dinner. So, as I say, it's really not recommended. Okay, let's get rid of all that. Let's go back to where we were, just a plain paragraph. Let's go back here and minimise. So we go back. When we finished, we can add, if we like, we could stick this piece of content in the menu. That's fairly easy to do. We go to menu. Let's say interesting article. Now, you don't need to worry too much about this, but this gives a list of all the different menu options that are available on your site. Many of these you won't actually see, but you require the menu, the ability to work with menus, and that's why you're shown all of them. But clearly you can see all your existing links here. So if you wanted to stick one at the end, let's say that we'll have it in links, and let's give it a weighting of 50, so it appears right at the bottom. We get down to the bottom. We don't need to worry about this. Publishing options, authoring options, don't worry too much about. Publishing options, published, really don't want to promote to the front page. More about that later. Click save. There you go, and there's your article. And if you look in the menu, there is your interesting article now in your menu. And if you were to click on that, it would take you through to the article. This article allows comments. Again, we will come to that at a later date. You probably won't require that functionality, but it's there should you need it. As you can see, this text is all in. The title by default this is what I was referring to earlier, that the system automatically provides the correct colouring and size and font size, etc., for things like titles and headings. So there really isn't any need for you to mess around too much with the look and feel of the site. You should be concentrating primarily on the content itself. As you can see, this content is in italics because that's the way I set it up. Right, that's the end of the second tutorial. I hope that was useful. The next tutorial is going to cover how to put images in your article and how to make them more eye-catching. Thank you very much.